This is SoundOff, Louisiana's premier television sports show. Coming to you from Sportsbook at L'Auberge Lake Charles. Here are the guys, Rick, Scooter, and Kevin.
Lock up the remote. There will be no clicking, no shifting of the channels when we're on. This is SoundOff. Glad to have you aboard. Hang with us. Glad you're spending some time with us this evening. That would be Gidra.
Always.
Gidri. And Hobbs and Sarah.
Gidbone.
All right. SoundOff always presented to you by our own personal L Club. That's your cue. L'Auberge Casino Resort.
Rick.
And also Matt Lundy and the A-team of lawyers at Lundy Law in Lake Charles. Okay, we can spend an entire segment, but we're not, on Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark round three. I said we're not spending an entire segment. That's later on in the show. We can spend an entire segment on Rory McIlroy. Did he lose the U.S. Open or did DeChambeau win it?
I have my opinion when we're ready for it, okay?
We could spend, and we probably all spend a half a segment on the hot seat. Who's hotter? Who's got the hottest seat? Not Hobbs, because he's just sitting here.
No.
Gary Goff or Lynn Kennedy out at McNeese? There's some heat going on. Later on in the show, we'll continue our in-depth conversation with outgoing McNeese State President, Dr. Daryl Burckel. You do not want to miss our final conversation or the final segment with Dr. Burckel. All right, let's start with LSU baseball. The only reason we're talking about this is because you got players coming in, you got players going out.
Yeah, you do.
Some Tiger fans with baseball, like Gidry, just I don't know, just out of their mind sometimes, think, look, nobody should leave Baton Rouge. But the player movement is going to happen, especially in this day and age. But I pose this to you, newspaper boy in the middle. I don't think LSU in the last 2 or 3 years has lost any surging stars that went to the portal. They've brought in better talent than they've lost.
And that's the way it's going to be.
It should be.
I mean, that's the reality.
Rick, you're not going to have superstars leaving LSU. I think players that leave know they're not going to probably play.
You would think it hadn't happened.
But not to the extent, say, the way he remembers LSU baseball. Before the rest of the SEC caught on.
And they have.
Can you imagine if these rules, the portal was in place back in the 90s?
Oh, my God.
LSU would have had a AAA team.
Oh, my God.
Because everybody would be jumping.
Yeah.
You're right.
And that's not the reality now, but there's no excuse that LSU can't be fine. They're going to lose some every year. You're probably right. Nobody of great, can't do without.
Exactly.
And they, as long as they keep bringing in better players than they lose.
Then they will. So everybody calm down out there with this portal. Look, this SEC, ACC, Omaha College World Series, it's amazing.
There have been some great games.
Great baseball. It just went from the regionals to the super regionals, now the College World Series. 10 seconds or less. How great has it been? I've caught some of it.
Well,
I mean,
it really,
walk-off homers, walk-off hits.
Well, the first three were walk-offs, and really the fourth would have been
it's crazy.
If Mississippi State had a 6'3" right fielder instead of a 6'6".
Hold on. Mississippi State, they're in Starkville.
I mean,
A&M.
A&M. It had a 6 foot. I got the maroon right.
There you go.
I said you needed a 6'6" right fielder to steal that home run.
It's great baseball. Just great. All right, let's shift to hot seats. This is right up your alley. You want every coach fired.
No, I'm not
yes,
saying
you
that.
do.
When you see a problem, fix it. That's all what I'm saying.
By firing the coach. All right, look, we've spent a lot of time talking about the hot seat that Gary Goff is feeling. He knows it. This is a critical third year. All right, 4-17. Everybody knows the numbers. 0-10 last year. Everybody knows it. Look, for a reboot, for a transformational season, I said 7-5 or 8-4. You got to have that.
I'm not seeing
you
that.
You said 6-6.
I'm not seeing that, Vic.
Well, that would be.
I know, but
that would be marked improvement.
It would, of course it would.
You don't just snap your fingers.
You've got to realize.
I would feel a lot better about where that program's headed with 6 wins, and that would.
But Gidry, 50+ new players, 19 FBS transfers, changes to the coaching staff, and yes, Gary Goff, I'm talking about quarterbacks, a proven star quarterback in Clifton McDowell.
That's all fine, Rick. But let me tell you,
that's all
Rick,
fine?
You've got to bring all of these things together, Rick.
Yeah, you do.
And if they're not going to work, Rick, this is it. Players may not understand.
How do you know it's
the
not
pressure.
going to work? It may work.
Players may not understand the pressure of what their coach is under about what has to happen. Realize this now. The coach can only coach. The coach can't play. Okay?
Those players know.
But Scooter, you got players coming from around the country. They don't understand the impact of what this program is under before they even got here.
Well,
they didn't win a game,
no,
Scooter.
He's
they
right.
They didn't win a game.
There's a lot of players coming from all over the country.
You got players. Are these players going to mesh with the coaches? I mean, are they going to be under the same philosophy as what the coaches want to give to them as players?
Well,
as to how they
it starts this summer.
You got to realize that.
That is the coach's job. And we mentioned this last week, and you were right. That is a tough job to get done in a month.
It is.
A month of August.
You're right. All right.
But, that's what they're up against.
Let's shift to Lynn Kennedy, Cowgirls basketball coach. I mean, 31-59 over 3 years. He's entering his 4th year. He was retained under his original contract. Finally, they've realized the foreign player experiment is not going to work. He has finally brought in his own recruiting coordinator, and they're getting some local talent led by Paris Guillory coming down from Tech from St. Louis. You got to get quicker, and you got to get more athletic, and he thinks you got 20 seconds.
This is me. Go ahead, Scooter.
They are allowed to recruit outside Calcasieu Parish. I don't have a problem with that.
No, I know that.
Now going all the way to Europe, that's another story.
Look, sweet.
It didn't work.
Look, my thing is this, guys. Lynn Kennedy should have known this the first day he set foot on campus. What the Southland plays like, Rick.
I know.
Okay?
Hold that thought. I'm going to let you finish in the next segment. But the Max Bar and Grill in Westlake wants to tell you that they will make you happy for lunch and dinner with great food, great drinks, great atmosphere, and, hey, great prices, too. It's all at the Max, the National Golf Course in Westlake, open 7 days a week, so there's no guessing when they're open. Weekly specials to keep it fresh. The Max Bar and Grill.
Story worth telling? It starts with Getaways specializing in me time. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Escapes to soak the day away. And rounds on a course designed by Tom Fazio. Start a story all your own at Le Berge Lake Charles.
There's nothing better than a game and great tasting Miller Lite.
It's less filling than Miller Lite.
Tastes great.
Never understood this argument. Let it be both. Miller and Miller. I like it.
What are you doing with the Johnson sofa?
They had a pipe break. Water leaked all over.
Really?
I'm a Roto-Rooter plumber.
Really?
We do water cleanup, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Call Roto-Rooter for plumbing and water cleanup.
Locally owned Roto-Rooter of Southwest Louisiana does it all. Plumbing, drain cleaning, and water cleanup.
We're the attorneys Southwest Louisiana has known and trusted for decades. We fought relentlessly for our clients and won. We are proud to announce a new name based on our legacy of success. We are Lundy Law. The name may be new, but our team's commitment to pursuing justice for our clients has never been stronger. From personal injury and maritime cases to insurance claims, mass tort, and civil litigation, you can count on the experienced attorneys at Lundy Law.
What's bugging you?
Is it termites? The season is now and they are swarming. At J&J Exterminating, we offer some very effective weapons against infestation of your home or business. Let us take care of what's bugging you. Don't wait. Contact us now for a free inspection.
When things heat up, you don't just want a cold one. You want the coldest one. The cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged.
Welcome back to the Sportsbook at Le Berge. SoundOff, of course, brought to you by locally owned and operated Roto-Rooter of Southwest Louisiana, the legendary name for expert plumbing, drains, and now they do water cleanup. Also locally owned and operated J&J Exterminating, Tim Broussard and that gang.
Our good friend Tim.
They know how to get rid of those creepy crawlers. That would be pests and termites and the like. So give J&J a call if you need their services. Coming up in the next segment, continuing our conversation with McNeese President Dr. Daryl Burckel. You don't want to miss that. Next week, I think it's going to be a treat. We're going to have former Bar Buck, former Mississippi State Bulldog baseball player Davis Mesh will be here to talk about his experience in Omaha. He was a freshman, but he won the national title with the Dogs. So that'll be cool. Davis Mesh, who will soon be a McNeese Cowboy on their baseball team. All right, quickly, I want you to finish your thought on Lynn Kennedy and his hot seat. And him getting more athletic and more fast and better shooters.
Rick, you knew that your first year, Rick. how the Southland played, Rick, and you continued to bring people in or
Yes.
have girls play that couldn't keep up with the speed of
Could
what
not.
they were playing. And everybody could see it in each game. So did he dig his own hole by doing that? I mean, was it just too, I don't know what it was, but did it have to go this far for them to realize that this is what needed to happen? Did it take 3
I
years?
asked him point blank, did the
How did it take 3 years?
did the foreign game or does the foreign style of play mesh with the Southland Conference and the knock?
No.
And he thought it did.
No, athletically wise, no. No,
I didn't see it either.
No, it didn't.
So the seat is hot. Are you saying the seat is hot?
Ow.
Okay. All right, quickly. That is your best contribution in about a year. Yeah, it's hot. Okay. That's hilarious. All right. The Saints, Mickey Lewis. All right.
I'm done.
Do they?
Stop.
Yeah, it deserves one. Do the Saints need to re-sign and extend Alvin Kamara?
Yes, that's
this
a yes.
year, or can they wait a year?
No, they better do it this year, Rick.
Oh my
They better
gosh!
do it this
I
year.
am a
They better do it
believer.
this year.
I may be the only one at this table. I'm a believer that you need a star running back. They're not a dime a dozen. They're not. Ask the
Yes.
Dallas Cowboys
Yes.
this
No,
year.
no,
Agree
they're
or
not.
disagree? The shelf life is shorter
It's
on a
short.
running back in the
It's
NFL, but
short.
you need
Yes, it's
somebody
short.
with special skills.
You do.
I'm not sure you need an old running back, though. And I love Alvin Kamara.
I do too.
He has been
This will be his 8th year.
But I
so
think-
good.
Yeah.
I think what Alvin brings to the table that some running backs around the league doesn't is that he can be that third receiver. He can be that receiver. He can
I
be
agree.
that receiver.
And think about that
and
offense that's
big
coming
time.
in. Clint Kubiak from the 49ers
yeah.
likes those running backs with the zone run and put them out for the dump off.
If you can get Alvin in space on a person, I'm pretty sure he's going to win 9 out of 10 times. He's going to
Woo!
win.
Can you do that move one more
No,
time?
I'm not.
Okay.
It would never match the original.
Quick, you're right. The
Oh,
U.S.
my
Open
goodness.
at Pinehurst, great
my
tournament.
goodness. Wow.
Everybody has seen the highlights now. It kind of reminded me of the 96 Masters with Greg Norman.
Yeah.
Rory McIlroy missing 2 very, very short putts. Here's a number.
Well, it
Prior to
didn't
this
compare
tournament.
to Norman,
Yeah, really. That was just unbelievable.
Don't forget, there was a time, McElroy, he birdied 4 out of 5
I got you.
holes.
Oh, we went on a run.
Wow.
Prior to this, over the weekend, Sunday, he had made 457 out of 457 putts under 4 feet. And he gets 2 putts under 4 feet and misses both of them.
One of
Did
them was
Mac-
under 3, I think.
Did McElroy lose it? Or did
Well, he
Bryson
lost.
DeChambeau
He lost.
win the
But
tournament?
lost. I'm with
Well,
Scooter.
both. McElroy opened
And
the
you're
door
right, they
for
can
it,
coexist.
But I
Yeah.
will give Chambeau, much as I dislike him, I will give Chambeau credit for hitting one of the
That was a
great
heck of a
closing
shot.
shots you will
That
ever
was a heck of a
see in a major for sure.
I don't know if even golfers out there know how difficult that bunker shot was.
That was tough, man. That was
55
tough.
yards
That was tough.
to
Rick.
put it within 4
was
feet
tough. Yeah, that was
at
tough.
Pinehurst.
Can I go on over in here?
Got to make it quick.
That crowd was disgraceful.
What?
Come on.
Well, they were a little too loud and rambunctious.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't
DeChambeau,
mind that. I don't
What do you
mind
mean?
that. But on the chanting USA
Yeah, I don't-
at Rory.
I don't get that.
Save that for the Ryder Cup.
Yeah, I don't get that. I didn't like that either.
That wasn't Rory's finest day for sure. He didn't talk. He refused to speak afterwards.
Yeah,
Mistake.
you did.
That's a
And
mistake.
that was not. That wasn't in character for him.
No, it
and
was
I'm going
not.
to give him a pass.
No,
Yeah.
I
But,
agree.
I mean, you know what? Having a 2-shot lead, Rick, and Roy hadn't won a major in 10 years.
Yeah.
It hasn't been 10 years, has it?
10 years.
Yes, it has.
Amazing. All right. This is a subject that's right up your alley with the hot seat.
Uh-oh, come on.
Angel Reese and Caitlin
Look.
Clark, round 3. What is Angel Reese doing? What is she
Guys.
thinking? It was not a basketball
No,
play.
no,
It
look,
was an assault.
guys.
She's a tough player, but you don't knock ahead of a player like that going up. I'm
Let me
sorry.
say this.
And what is she doing,
is-
pointing the
this-
finger and
this is
poking
what-
the media? Like,
this
I know
is
you
what-
guys are going to run this clip 20
This
times.
is what, and you know what? And they ran it 20 times, Rick. Is this not good for
200.
women's basketball?
It
I
is,
mean, let's just be
but I
honest,
don't think
Rick.
it's good
Come
for
on.
Angel
And look,
Reese.
but Caitlin Clark, her comment was, it's a basketball move.
Of course, she's taking the high road.
But they both know what this is doing.
That was a cheap shot.
They're playing
was a cheap
basketball.
shot.
Look, they probably been one of the two
All I
most
know is
competitive females
They are
that are out there right now. These girls are just playing, and everybody's watching. Don't you think when they play on each week?
Angel Reese special whistle, it was a flagrant.
Our little slice of the sports world. We've talked more about the NBA in the last month
The
WNBA than we did the first 25 years.
Scooter just made my point.
I know.
That's what they're doing.
I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with Angel Reese in this so-called villain role.
No.
She can play tough basketball. Don't
they-
poke the bear.
they-
Don't poke at the media.
Angel Reese,
No,
that's her style
no.
of play, Rick. That's her style
But
of play.
I think Angel's kind of comfortable in that role.
I don't think it's good for the long term, though.
I think it's going to be great for women's basketball.
It brings attention.
I am telling you. And look, when those two, did y'all see the clip of those two hugging?
And they're
at
great
some
with each
function? They were hugging at some
Caitlin
function.
Clark
They were hugging at
has
some
brought
function.
more attention and more money and to the WNBA than Angel Reese, than all of them combined. It's just it's
Do
a
you
fact.
think if both of
Yeah,
those
but
go
they're
out and play
also
each week?
playing up that Caitlin Reese rivalry.
Thank you, Scooter.
We're
Thank
going
you.
to the
Thank you, Scooter.
break. Daryl
Scooter
Burckel is up
understands
next.
what we're talking about here.
We're the attorneys Southwest Louisiana has known and trusted for decades. We fought relentlessly for our clients and won. We are proud to announce a new name based on our legacy of success. We are Lundy Law. The name may be new, but our team's commitment to pursuing justice for our clients has never been stronger. From personal injury and maritime cases to insurance claims, mass tort, and civil litigation, you can count on the experienced attorneys at Lundy Law.
J&J Exterminating is here for you with our water damage sanitation treatments and wood protective borate treatments. There is no charge for home evaluations. Contact your local J&J Exterminating professional.
Hey, mister, are you a Roto-Rooter plumber?
Guilty.
Did you fix what flooded my house?
Sure did.
Toilet overflow?
Nope.
Pipe break?
Getting warmer.
Busted water heater?
Nailed it.
How long can you hold your breath? Is that your real hair? What's the birds and the bees? Do you know where my grandma is?
You know, I don't know.
What's next?
Wrapping up the water cleanup.
You do that too?
We do both.
Fair enough.
Call Roto-Rooter for plumbing and water cleanup. Yeah, we do both.
Locally owned Roto-Rooter of Southwest Louisiana does it all. Plumbing, drain cleaning, and water cleanup.
There's nothing better than a game and great tasting Miller Lite.
It's less filling, Miller Lite.
Tastes great.
Never understood this argument. Let it be both. Miller and Miller. I like it.
What's bugging you?
Is it termites? The season is now and they are swarming. At J&J Exterminating, we offer some very effective weapons against infestation of your home or business. Let us take care of what's bugging you. Don't wait. Contact us now for a free inspection.
All right, welcome back to the show. Glad you're hanging with us. Coming to you from the Sportsbook at LaBerge. We're continuing our in-depth conversation with retiring McNeese State University President, Dr. Daryl Burckel. What, you've been on like a book tour. You're on every show, every media outlet.
It won't end.
Hey,
this is it, though. This is it.
This is it. The
This
last
is
one.
it.
Now,
This
look,
is it.
we reserve the right to call you from the bullpen for some reason or another. Okay?
Call him up.
This won't be your last.
Probably not.
You touched on it before he takes up the rest of the segment.
He will.
We touched on it Tuesday, but you're a football guy. You play in the big leagues. You're not just, some observer. What needs to happen to this football team? This program, I guess you would say, not this particular team. What is the key? What does this team need?
We need a quarterback. We've got it's a quarterback. Everything's a quarterback league now, right? I mean,
What have I been saying for years?
quarterbacks.
What have I been saying for years?
But we've got to play better defense. We've got to be able to get stops. And I think last year you saw we couldn't stop with this. It's second half, we couldn't get stops. We go into the lead in halftime, and then we couldn't get stops in the second half. So I think with an improved defense and a quarterback, I think we're gonna have opportunities this year that we didn't have last year.
All right, Mr. Guidry.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, you got your extra
Doc,
time.
this is one of the questions that has been surrounding us for years here with McNeese and how the athletic program can get back on track. Everybody knows about the transfer portal. That's huge. You can build a team by being able to get the right players. But the biggest problem we think that has troubled McNeese in the past few long years is being able to get NIL money. How can that change the face of sports here at McNeese? How can we get money to get these players in? I mean, you're looking at Will Wade. These players are just not coming because they want to be at McNeese. We all know that, right, guys? How has that contributed to the
I'd
success?
argue that they want to play for Will Wade. But go ahead, let the man answer. Let the man answer. Okay.
But the question is, how can that continue after a person like Will Wade is gone? How can that continue?
You wanted to handle that one, Scooter?
Don't even pay him any mind.
I'll tell you.
How can that continue, Doc?
Well,
I was calling a fair catch on the hang time of his question.
I'm not sure how NIL is going to be sustainable in the long run for any program. I just don't know. I mean, especially at the FCS level.
I think that's...
At the FCS level, I'm not sure how sustainable this is going to be. So, for us, you know, I think one of the big things I think football has done is that they've hired someone to be a player personnel.
Yeah.
So, right? I mean, I think you have a GM now because you have to keep recruiting your kids and go find new kids. That's always looking at talent. A head coach is coaching and they can't recruit anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole recruiting thing has changed over the past few years. So you have a GM now in place. When you get a high quality person like Will Wade to come to your program, you get a Power 5 coach to come here, it's a different dynamic. What that looks like after, I really don't know.
Huge.
It really, you know, we have not experienced anything like this. So this is kind of like virgin territory for McNeese. It is.
It really is. All right, let's transition to the Southland Conference. They brought in UT Rio Grande for football in 25, but next year they'll start. And then, of course, the return of Stephen F. Austin. Up to 12 teams. Commissioner Grant wants it to possibly be 14. Are you supportive of that? Do you want to see the Southland Conference eventually possibly split to 7 and 7?
Yeah, it'd be good. I think for travel purposes and for scheduling purposes, 2 divisions would be very good.
Okay. Bullet point. FBS Conference USA. Is Conference USA the landing spot for McNeese if they ever get a shot at FBS?
I think it would be. I think the Sun Belt has bypassed Conference USA. They unfortunately have because you saw a lot of Conference USA teams jump out of there to the Sun Belt.
I know.
So, yeah, I think they have. I think that would be the spot for McNeese if we have that opportunity. You know, again, you know, you have to look at what the financial picture is going to look like with FBS and what that means because it's a FBS now. I mean, I'm sorry, Conference USA is from the East Coast, right, all the way to New Mexico State. Yeah. Right? I mean,
divisions.
They would have.
And, you know, we talk a lot about the power, whenever the Power 4 breaks away, what's left? What's left on the table scrap-wise from TV?
I don't even know how long the NCAA survives.
I don't either.
I don't either.
I think there's a movement on to say, why do we need the NCAA? Because all they do is put on championships. So why do we need them? Because there are no more rules. What recruiting rules do we have anymore?
I've been saying that.
I'm not sure.
I've been saying that. Right? We don't recruit kids anymore. That's done.
With the recruiting rules, I mean, even the academic rules. I mean, so.
And your background is, you know, Rummel, right? Was it
Archbishop Rummel High School?
And you were of the generation, and you as well, high school, mark my words, people, high school recruiting may not ever exist anymore because why do you want to recruit high school when you can get an experienced guy out of the portal?
Right.
1,500 players in the portal.
You're not going to anybody's living.
I know.
But it's not near what it was. No question.
But, you know,
and all these coaches, Brian Kelly at LSU.
Yes, indeed.
It's like, well, we don't want to do the portal. We're just going to pick and fill some gaps.
No.
But every year, there they are.
I'm sure y'all talked about it a week or so ago, but Florida just passed laws for high school NIL.
Yes.
Where does that go?
Yes.
Where does that money come from?
That's legal in Louisiana.
So does LSU take their NIL money and start paying high school kids
it's
to start
crazy.
coming and recruiting them?
And you ushered in, and just these changes are mind-boggling, especially from where you sit still presently, because you got until July 1, right? But you're not going to be dealing with it. It's mind-boggling what we have been trying to decipher, all these changes and everything.
A lot, Rick.
And really, how is it going to affect McNeese? 250 million more cuts in higher ed.
Yeah. Well, potential. There's a potential.
It's going to affect McNeese. It's going
to affect this whole state.
Yes.
Affect the whole state.
I got to end with this last question. Okay. Nickel State, Northwestern State, even UL Monroe. Not my alma mater, Southeastern. I think they're okay.
Yeah.
Will in 5 years or 10 years? Your best guess.
That's tough.
You know, when you start look again, 80% of our revenue comes from the student. 80%,
Wow,
75, 80% of our revenue
students.
comes from the student.
Yeah.
So therefore, if you see a continued decline in student enrollment, then everything's up for grabs.
Yes.
Nobody can survive because there's such a high fixed operating cost for these institutions, right? There's a high fixed cost to keep these institutions open and running, that you have to have a certain level of students just to pay the fixed bills.
Throw in Southern, throw in UNO, the rest of it. We appreciate it, Doc.
Thank you.
That is Dr. Daryl Burckel.
Always,
Great
thank y'all.
service for McNeese for 7 years. We're going to wrap it up. We'll see you next time right here at CBS Lake Charles.
Hey, mister, did you fix what flooded my house?
Sure did.
Busted water heater?
Nailed it.
What's next?
Wrapping up the water cleanup.
You do that too?
We do both.
Fair enough.
Call Roto-Rooter for plumbing and water cleanup. Yeah, we do both.
Locally owned Roto-Rooter of Southwest Louisiana does it all: plumbing, drain cleaning, and water cleanup.
If it's a story worth telling, it starts with Getaways, specializing in me time. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Escapes to soak the day away. And rounds on a course designed by Tom Fazio. Start a story all your own at L'Auberge Lake Charles.
There's nothing better than a game and great tasting Miller Lite.
It's less filling, Miller Lite.
Tastes great.
Never understood this argument. Let it be both. Miller and Miller. I like it.
Simply Spiked Lemonade. Made with real fruit that fell from its tree and rolled right into the party.